The challenge in focus. The previous article outlined the challenge inspiring the creation of these sessions. However, overcoming that challenge requires specifically identifying its causes and countermeasures. The dream. The return to office mandates following the COVID pandemic proved building real connections on the internet is still a tricky. One of the primary causes is that Zoom meetings and Google Meets are relatively transactional experiences. By contrast, in an office, you'll spark up conversations not only about work, but around the water cooler. Physical environments, objects, and the ability to communicate without looking everyone directly in the eye is key. Without a predefined, explicit reason to arise, conversations arise which are much more free-flowing, creative, and often touch on unexpected topics. These sorts of conversations are essential to functioning social spaces. By contrast, most online meetings can be compared to a shotgun wedding. Two people forced to look each other directly in the eye, all distractions removed, and sometimes forced to do so on a timer. Augmented reality has the power to bring context back to conversation. Experiencing each other openly in non-transactional spaces and communicating naturally would establish the gold standard for online interaction. It remains to be seen if such a space can be created using augmented reality, but if a true sense of presence is achieved, a new revolution in human social organization will likely follow. Just imagine the power of being with anyone, anywhere, anytime. Online spaces could replace schools, workplaces, and recreation, making businesses and education more affordable without physical buildings. The nightmare. Unfortunately, there's a dark side to this glowing reality. In physical life, no one has to carry our voice to others. But in this new virtual reality, there's a cost to the transaction of our voices. This cost needs to be paid back, and it's likely that companies will once again seek to create a monetization model around personalized advertising, as it allows everyone to enjoy the power of augmented reality for free. But there's a catch. Companies want to have our personal data in order to sell us explicitly what we desire. In a world where 24 cameras are constantly watching our environment and multiple cameras are pointed toward our eyes, even checking if our pupils are dilating, the personal advertisement model could become problematically invasive. Not only is people's private and personal information often sold and used to determine insurance rates, saying the wrong thing online has led to fines and jail time. The future of augmented reality headsets together with AI integration is that these intelligent headsets will know more about you than you know about yourself.
Trapped.
Today we have the option to unplug from technology, but if a true sense of presence is achieved in augmented reality, it may soon become the primary means of communication necessary for school, work, and leisure. Today's social networks already use the personalized advertising model, but social networks are something we can live without. This technology, if it achieves a sense of personal presence, may become so essential that most will not be able to function without it. Freedom as essential. The last thing anyone wants in a politically divided landscape is large-scale databases on the thoughts and intentions of whole populations. Such databases could prove problematically useful to the wrong types of power. This is why America's founders fought for fundamental freedoms like the right to privacy in a person's own home. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall issue, but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. Fourth Amendment U.S. Constitution. We may be entering a new world in which virtual spaces become as valuable to us as physical spaces, virtual workplaces, even virtual homes, and one day potentially virtual lives. Yet, none of the aforementioned essential freedoms fly in virtual spaces. I believe that the spaces you call home should have the protections due a home. I'm fighting for a future where you can be yourself and be with anyone, anytime, anywhere, without fear.